Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Today, going to be flying back in good old X-Plane in VR using the HP Reverb G2. Diesel Cracker, Take 6. Everyone else who's watching, appreciate you guys joining this morning on a really super cold Saturday here in the Northeast. We're expecting a snowstorm or something. Yeah, so a little bit of a different view today in VR. I'm using actually the X-Plane mirror, if you will, because it seems to be the best free projection that I can provide. Steam VR view is awful, shaky, and Windows Mixed Reality view is shaky as well, and it cuts frame rate in X-Plane by about 10%. So I'd rather have the frames. You can see I'm getting 45 frames. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I had that music cranking there. Getting about 45 frames per second or close to it in VR. So I'm in the HP Reverb 2. Conrad, how you doing? Sorry about that, yeah. So let me do that again. Welcome on a Saturday. Appreciate you guys joining today. Going to be in the HP Reverb G2 again, for those who couldn't hear because the music was too loud. I've changed the view. Normally I use Windows Mixed Reality to project what we're doing in VR, but that is just a complete bummer, and it actually kills frames by about 10 to 15%, the frame rate and frame time. So today we're going to be looking at the X-Plane view. So you got those black bars on the side. Now I could expand this out, but you'll miss a lot of what I see, so I've decided just to give you this one. This is basically a one-eye view, and hopefully that'll suffice. As I mentioned before, the Steam VR, the Steam View mirror is just awful. It's staggery. I haven't figured out the problem with that. But the good news about all this is that we're in the Challenger today, using the HP Reverb G2, and I have to tell you, it's amazingly smooth. For all you want to say about Microsoft Flight Simulator, X-Plane 11 VR in this plane in particular, and many others, is just smooth as silk. Now I have since upgraded my processor from an i7-6700 to a i7-10700K. That's helped a lot with X-Plane. As you can imagine, X-Plane is a pretty CPU-centric sim. It's also helped with FS 2020. Sorry. But the one thing that I'm having difficulty with is using the Windows Mixed Reality controller to bring use Move VR, which is a add-on for X-Plane 11 that allows you to bring Windows into VR, and for some reason I can't manipulate it with the Windows Mixed Reality controller or the X-Plane VR mouse. So not gonna have chat in I was looking forward to having chat in the cockpit like I normally do when I fly in VR in X-Plane 11, but oh well. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great Saturday. Today we're going to be using OnAir, which is think of it as like a career mode for X-Plane 11 or FS 2020. Similar to FS Economy in some ways, much more detailed really than FS Economy, but I've lately gotten back into this, and we've actually started to get our virtual airline going. Diesel Sims, who's in the chat today, is our COO, and he's a partner in the airline as well, and has been doing a lot of work to get things going along with me. And so we've got a nice. We'll go over the FBO network that we have and the planes that we have and stuff, and talk about how we can join once we get in the air. So let's get in the air here. I'll show you what we have planned for today. Now, I'm actually at Kingman Airport with this airplane in OnAir, the Challenger, and it was kind of hard to. I could not. We didn't have any jobs in network, so I'm gonna have to actually fly out of network today, which is fine. That's fine. You know, let me turn this stupid VR mouse off. Yeah. Kazi, how you doing? Nice to see you. Glad you joined us. All right, so let's get into Chrome here. So you don't want to see that. So let's go to Sky Vector, and this is what we're going to be flying. We're going to be flying from Kingman Airport, 396 miles down to Mexico to this guy. What is it? MMO. So this is MMHO. I know I'm going to butcher this pronunciation. Raul Ignacio Pesquero Garcia. The good news is, like, we've got a runway that's pretty long here. We've got 7,500 feet. I was going to fly a job in California, but one of the legs was like 2,000 feet, so that would be kind of a squeeze for the Challenger. Anyway, yeah, yes, Conrad. That's Diesel, myself. I'm not sure who else, because it's hard to see which pilots are doing what. But yeah, we've cleaned up a lot of that backlog, and we're waiting for the system to generate some new jobs. So we're going to be doing this leg now to Mexico, and then we're going to be taking this should take us about an hour, and then we'll head back to Palm Springs with a small load. All right, so that's going to be our flight for today. And by the way, if you're interested in joining the OnAir user group on Facebook, just search OnAir Airline Manager user group and join up if you're interested in that. And also VR Aviators group. If you're interested in VR Aviation, just search VR Aviators on Facebook and join that group. We've got over 3,000 people helping each other with VR aviation issues. So make sure you check those things out. All right? Cool. Oh yeah, take 6. Thank you, I appreciate that. Hopefully we'll get some jobs generated here. All right, so I'm gonna leave the frame counter and the frame time counter so you can see where frame time is so important in VR. Look at that, we're holding like a solid 0.2 seconds, 0.22 seconds, which is largely probably due to the CPU, the new CPU. But I could tell you, in VR, I was flying some missions with this plane yesterday. This thing in the G2 is absolutely awesome. And I've got it, basically, I've got the G2 with the Steam VR settings at 100 and 100. So it's basically maximum resolution in the G2. And my settings in X-Plane 11 are high. I think I'm using like medium buildings, probably, but all the other graphic settings are high. So it's just a great experience with this plane. All right, so let's take a look at OnAir. Yeah, we're gonna get some smaller jobs mixed in there. We're lowering the generation maxes, so we should see some smaller jobs in there. The problem is we don't really have control over what's generated, so we have to kind of like take what you get. But you know, remember, you could just like fly pieces of big jobs, right? And you'll get credit for those. So like, for example, let me just go to while I'm talking here, we're gonna go to the desktop. For example, if you're if let's say there's a 20,000, yeah, right. But here's the thing: is if there's, let's say there's a 20,000 pound cargo load at PSP, right, and you're flying the King Air, and you can only carry 5,000 pounds. Well, you could just chip away at that and take your 5,000 pounds of the 20,000, okay, and then when the job is completed, you'll get credit for that. Right, so even though there's larger jobs in network, don't be afraid to take pieces of them with smaller planes, right? And then myself in the Challenger or Diesel and I'm actually going to be flying the Airbus as well. I took a couple of flights this week, and I'm shaking off my fear of flying the A320, so we'll be doing that too. But anyway, yeah. So don't be concerned with flying, taking pieces of larger missions. You know. All right, cool. So let me get we're gonna get the Challenger here. Okay, so we're gonna take you through this so you could see. I've got this job right here. Now we could. Oh, we have to have a small job to BFL that I picked up today. If you wanted to fly that, but I've decided to take this guy here. Okay, we want to make sure we have enough fuel. This is 698. We don't own a 320, Conrad, but we have one rented. If you can fly it, we can give you permission to use it. We were actually going to ask, those who want to fly it, we'll give permission to use it. But yeah, we're planning on buying one, but they're like, I think around 50 million or something like that. So that's one of the goals. All right, so we have 400 miles, so let's make sure we get enough fuel in here. I'm gonna put like 900 miles worth of fuel in here. Well, yeah, just make it 1,000. All right, so that should be plenty of fuel. And we got, I know we can buy. I already checked. One thing in OnAir, you got to check the destination to make sure there's fuel at the destination. So I've already checked MMHO, and there is fuel there, so we'll be good to go there. All right, so we got this guy loaded up. We have room in the payload, but unfortunately there's no other jobs going there. So it's still a pretty nice sized job. I think let's go back here. Hold on. 70,000. All right, so we'll make a decent amount, and then we'll make a small job going back to PSP, but that's okay. All right. All right, so get that loaded up. Let's get the gas loaded up, or I should say fuel. All right, it's all balanced. We're good to go. Yes, we're also going to have a cargo hangar at PSP for now. We got this MMHO, and I need my co-pilot. Okay. So we've got a cargo hangar. I'm not sure if it's built yet, but if it's not, it's being built to hold 25,000 pounds. So you can take cargo from airports near Palm Springs. So let's say F70, which is French Valley, or DAG, which is Daggett, Barstow. And you can move cargo and drop it off at PSP, and it'll hold in the 25,000 pound cargo hold. And that way we can, those who fly the 320 will be, oh, okay, good. So, Connor, we'll add you to the list of flights. Yeah, and you have 2 in your other world. Cool. So we're going to be able to store up cargo at PSP up to 25,000 pounds. And so, for example, let's say you see a cargo flight from F70 to French Valley to PSP, right? Just basically pick it up, go to PSP, drop it off, leave it there. It'll get stored. We don't get penalties or anything, okay? And then we'll use one of the larger planes to load it up and take like big trips with fully loaded trips for the A320 from, let's say, PSP to Las Vegas or whatever, okay? So you can store your cargo at PSP, okay? Take 6, you built a small FBO at PSP for your local rental. All right, cool. You're trying to lose money. Yeah, just they suck the funds. They suck the funds out of you with those rentals for sure, or with the FBO charges for sure. All right, so we're just waiting for this guy to load up here. I've already got the flight plan. Well, actually, let me get my flight plan loaded up here. All right, Alright, so let me show you. Basically, it's go to the route menu, route list, and under FMS plans, I've already got this flight plan in there. So you go to the next page, you can see we're going to HO 900, then to MMHO, then back to TVUC and to PSP. So that's all set to go. Yeah, that's a good point. Which plane are you renting there? All right, cargo's ready to go. So we're going to go to the Go Flight tracking page. And we'll see we're all green check marks. Okay, so we're all good to go here. We're going to hit start tracking. Now remember the time in the simulator.
Will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
All right, the time in the simulator is always linked up to in X-Plane 11 is linked up to time in the OnAir. All right, cool. So let's go to hold on, what do I want to do here? Okay. All right, for some reason now in this, sometimes this happens, the G2 has like a tilted view. All right, so let's get our APUs off and stuff. We don't need that on. All right, so we're going to go nav, FMS1. We're going to go nav. And we're going to go up there today, so save some fuel, because we've got a long-ass flight. So let's get up to... We'll fly at 25,000. And we're going to go vertical speed. We can push 3,000 feet per minute. Now, I don't use FLC on this. Because I don't know how to, I haven't figured out proper way to use the auto throttle. I know someone who's a Challenger flyer is probably going to comment to help me with that, but I just haven't done. I have it written down somewhere, and I'm not used to using it. So we're just going to use the VS to get up to speed. So we've got our flight plan in, and we should be good to go. Cargo's loaded. Flaps set. I forgot to load up with the VR Aviation livery, which we do have for this plane. All right, so let's go. Brakes are off. And let's go. I don't know if you could see that, but look how it is super, super smooth. Super smooth. Now, this plane has always been one of the better planes in VR, but I think since I upgraded that the CPU, that it's really improved things. All right, here we go. V1 and rotate. Nice smooth takeoff there.
Airborne time logged.
Gear up. Flaps up.
Too low, terrain.
I have no idea what that sound is. I don't know what that sound was. No idea what that sound was. Never heard that sound before. Alright, so let's get our autopilot on here. That's just the trim stabilizer for the elevator. One thing you don't have to worry about in X-Plane is the autopilot's malfunctioning. So I'm going to tell you a little story about how when I bought this Challenger at OnAir. It's something to be on the lookout. when you're using OnAir and buying a plane. For example, it's an X-Plane 11 plane, right? So I bought it at this I bought it for $8.5 million for the company, and it was at this airport it's KFOW, Fort Irwin. So I just bought it without, worrying about the airport or anything, and I wanted to fly it to Daggett, Barstow, which is the FBO that we own. So I go into X-Plane, and of course, KF0W or KFOW is not in X-Plane 11. Go to SkyVector, it's not. It's an invalid airport. So basically, it's one of these airports that exists in Microsoft Flight Simulator and probably FSX that's no longer around, and it's not a real airport. So that means you got to figure out how to rescue this plane that you just spent $8.5 million on in OnAir, because you can't get to an airport in the simulator to match up with OnAir, right? So what I did was, here's what I did. After thinking about it, I tried to think about this. So I got the OnAir gives you the lat long of the location of the airport. All right? So I got that. And what I did was I got the closest airport to that lat long, which was BYS, I think it was a airport. It was 28 miles away. And then I used SkyVector to pinpoint the exact lat long that OnAir was saying where this airport was located. It was, I forget what it was, 13.1 and 116.10, something like that. So I found that exact lat long. I made a waypoint in SkyVector from this BYS airport to that waypoint, and then the destination in SkyVector was DAG, right? Daggett. So then I used that as the flight plan in the Challenger in X-Plane 11. Okay, I know it's complicated, but stay with me. I use that as the flight plan. I get in, I start up OnAir. Okay, it's can't recognize the plane because it doesn't. It's looking for a plane at KFOW, but the plane's not there, right? The Challenger. So in X-Plane 11, I fly the plane using the FMS and nav to get it to the point where that waypoint is, where OnAir thinks this airport is. Stay with me, trying to not confuse you. And then when I get to that point, I hit pause in the simulator in X-Plane 11, and I'm looking at the OnAir map screen. It's got this map screen where it shows you exactly where the airplane's located. And what I do is I fly the plane until the plane is right over where OnAir thinks that airport is. I hit pause. I look in VR out of the plane, the outside view, when I'm looking on the ground, exactly where I think that spot is. And it happens to be like in the middle of like this rocky desert next to this mountain. So then what I do is I unpause, I put the flaps on, I fly the plane at like about 140 knots. I land it on this rough terrain, okay, watching the OnAir screen to make sure that the plane is right where OnAir thinks it's going to be, because OnAir wants it on the ground to start the mission. I get the plane to that exact spot. OnAir recognizes it. Okay, I start the mission. I get back in the plane. I take off on this rocky terrain, and now OnAir's following in it, and then I fly it to Daggett. It literally took me 45 minutes to rescue this plane, because the folks at OnAir have an airport that's invalid. Now, it's valid in Microsoft Flight Simulator, because we checked, Diesel checked, but it's not valid in X-Plane 11 or SkyVector. So it's not a real airport, but OnAir thinks it is. So lesson there, okay, when you buy a plane, and I knew this lesson, but I forgot to do it, okay? I forgot to do it, and I should have done it. always check the airport where you're buying a plane in SkyVector to make sure it's a real airport, especially if you're flying an X-Plane 11, okay? Because X-Plane 11 tends to only have the real airports. Microsoft Flight Simulator has airports that are non-existent, okay? There's a number of them. So that's the lesson. Make sure before you buy a plane in OnAir that you're going to be able to, if it's an X-Plane 11. Usually Microsoft Flight Simulator will probably be okay, but you should probably double-check that anyway. Just make sure it's a valid airport that you're going to be able to get to in your simulator. All right? That's the lesson. Oh, gosh. It was quite an escapade. But I figured it out, and I was able to rescue the plane, and now I'm sitting in it. So, all right, we've reached our altitude, 25,000 feet, flight level 250, and we've got 350 miles, or we got about an hour to our waypoint. That'll turn us into the airport in Mexico where we're landing. Just take a look outside. I'm using Ortho 4XP, just so you guys know. I'll tell you, at this height, the scenery looks very similar to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Anyway. So we took a chat here. So, Conrad, you can buy the Challenger on xplane.org. Pardon me. Yeah, it's like $35, I think. It's a fantastic airplane. I've had it for a while, and it's, especially in VR, it's awesome. The creaking sound is your cargo braking due to high G-force. Is it really? Okay. I never heard that. I never heard that before. Was that an on-air sound, or is that a... I guess it's an on-air sound? Must be. Oh, that's pretty cool. So anyway, that's how you rescue a plane that isn't available in X-Plane 11. You deleted X-Plane from your system. May have been too soon. Oh, yeah, don't. Hey, Pat, how you doing? Thanks for joining the stream. X-Plane 11, don't give up on it, because especially if you like, there's certain planes that are amazing. Gotcha. Yeah, I know that. So I guess I was going up too fast. Oh, I know, because I was making a pretty aggressive turn there after I took off. Gotcha. So you can see X-Plane 11. Check out the frame rates for those who are obsessed with frame rate. I'm not. 45 frames per second, which is great in VR. Okay. In the G2 on maximum resolution, and this is with a 1080 Ti. Oh, overspeed here.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Hold on, let me get my
overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
Come on.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
There we go. Yeah, I have to learn how to use the auto throttle. I think there's an auto throttle mod for this plane. Yeah, I wouldn't give up on X-Plane, Pat. X-Plane's awesome. You know, especially, I mean, you got to remember, I should say, Fly Inside pioneered VR flight simulation, for sure. Don't forget Daniel Church at Fly Inside. Those guys were the first, and Airfly were the first to give us VR. Airfly FS2. I think it's DCS2 had it VR pretty early. But, you know, X-Plane 11 native VR really changed things quite a bit, and a lot of us here in stream and a lot of folks that follow my channel have been involved with X-Plane 11 native VR for quite some time, 3 odd years, maybe 4 years. I'm still a big X-Plane 11 fan, especially this aircraft. The Airbus Ti SC2 is an amazing plane. The TorqueSim SR22 is an amazing plane in X-Plane 11. You got to remember, what you're going to get in X-Plane 11 is you're going to get more realistic flight control, flight dynamics. All those things are going to be more realistic in X-Plane 11 than they are in FS 2020. You know, FS 2020, I'm not knocking it. I was a very not a big critic, but a constructive critic of it. Sometimes I was maybe a little destructive, but when it first came out. But you know, I turned the corner when they released VR, and they made a lot of changes, and they improved a lot of things, and it's getting better. But I think X-Plane VR is still the bar, in my opinion. You could see here, 45 frames per second. I've got a 1080 Ti, okay, and a i7 10700K. Now I know the CPU is a big factor, okay, but this is super smooth, and I would say lifelike immersive, you know. Oh, you're saying there's a wait. Oh, there's a mod for, hey Diesel, there's a mod Take 6 for X-Plane 11 that includes the missing, I'm missing what you're saying here. Yeah, I got my, I got a Yeti, is this a 30-ounce Yeti, something like that? Remember, I bought this thing, I'm like, it was really expensive, but I gotta tell you, I use this thing constantly. It's one of those, it's the big, large Yeti container. I think it's 24 ounces, so that's my coffee, and then I fill it up with water. And this thing is awesome. It was like $40, but you know what? And I looked at other ones, and I'm like, this one's good. Scenery pack. So Diesel, where is that mod on X-Plane.org? And I'm wondering if that KFOW is in that mod. I still can't get N85 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think I have to reinstall, and I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I just don't want. I probably should reinstall it, you know, because everyone says VR improves in FS 2020. You want to reinstall, but yeah, I remember you said it. It's in there. I guess it's not showing up for me, so I've got to. I guess I have to reinstall FS 2020. So yeah, so let's. We got some time here, so let's. We've got actually a lot of time. Let me just check out my. This is one thing I love about X-Plane 11 is all of their ETA and avionics, not avionics, but navigation, timing, and all that stuff works and is accurate. I can't tell you how many times it's frustrating in the jets in FS 2020 when you can't get an accurate ETA, because like I know in the CJ, like the CJ4 doesn't give you even the real time in the cockpit on the PFD. So all right, we got 40 minutes. We're making really good time here. I could probably crank up here a little bit. We're flying at 298 knots. 432 ground speed. That's why you got to be up high. Looks pretty cool from up here, I tell you that. I mean, like I said, from this height, there's not much difference between X-Plane 11 and FS 2020. When you get down to 2,000 feet, when you're looking at houses and trees and stuff, yes, there's a major difference for sure. Yeah, I did. I added the USA scenery from the marketplace. Yep. Pat, this is what I heard. Some people have said that after they did a reinstall of FS 2020 that the frame time and stuttering in VR improved. Now, I can't validate that. I haven't tested it. But maybe some of the folks in chat here can, but this is something that people have said. All right, so we got a little time here, so let me go to the desktop here. I want to just show you guys what's going on with OnAir. Make this a little bigger so everybody can see it easily. You see, this is what's cool about OnAir. This tracking page that gives you. You can zoom out here. You can see this is our airport. It shows you the approaches. You can bring this data up here. You could say we're 285 nautical miles from the airport. Tells you, gives you a chart over here of your RPM and your altitude and your speed and stuff. So it's pretty good. Oh, here we go. Payload's too high. Bank 32 degrees. Oh, I got it. Yeah, look at that. Take 6. I got a 0.4% hit because I made a turn that was banked poorly. Oh well. All right, let's take a look at let's see, how do I do this? Let me go to this. Yeah, I know, I broke stuff. All right, so what do we got here? We got our aircraft. Let's take a look at that first. So here's our all aircraft. You can see this on the Discord. Link in the description. Join the Discord channel if you're interested. It's Bambino Tech, my Discord. And look for the VR on-air virtual airline channels. There's one in there for application if you want to join, and it explains it all. All right? You know what, guys? I'm going to take a quick break here. Let me go back here. I'm going to go back to... sorry, one second. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in 5 minutes, all right? All right, sorry about that, guys. Had a little bit of an issue. All right, let's go over what's going on with OnAir. Okay, let me go to the desktop. All right, so cool. As I was mentioning, this is kind of cool about OnAir. It's got this map here that shows you where you are, and it gives you all your airport data and stuff. There's some pretty cool capabilities with it, right? All right, so as far as our company, well, let me go to company. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Well, I could show you the airplanes here. These are our airplanes. We've got two SR-22s, so we got the Asobo one, and we got the Torque Sim. We got the Baron for Asobo, which is Microsoft Flight Simulator, which needs maintenance. I'm not sure. I guess we have to. Yes, it'll be done Monday. Two Ti SC2s, so if whether you're flying the Aerobasque or the FS 2020, you can fly those. We've got a Caravan, which is at Kingman right now. We've got 930, and we've got two King Airs, okay, which is nice. They carry a lot of cargo, almost 6,000 pounds of cargo. We've got the Challenger, which I'm flying now, 13,590 pounds of cargo and 8 seats, pretty long range. And we've got the Airbus A320, which has a massive payload, and we're renting that right now because to buy one of these is pretty expensive. It's about 50 million or 45 million, something like that. So goal is to own one at one point. But it's pretty reasonable to rent it as long as it makes money as long as we're filling up this payload. That's why Diesel had the idea to build a cargo bay at PSP. So anyway, so that's when we have the fly-by-wire. If you're going to fly the Airbus and FS 2020, you definitely want to have the fly-by-wire mod. Once I installed that and the navigation started working, for me it was a lot easier to fly, so I'm going to be flying that more. In fact, we'll probably do that on stream at some point, so you guys can laugh at me as a noob A320 virtual pilot. All right, so let's go to show you the FBOs. We have to go to manage here to show you that. All right, so ding, ding, ding. Go to our FBOs. And let's see, FBOs, and here we go. So we've got Bakersfield, Meadowfield, which is a larger airport. Okay, we've got Barstow, smaller airport. Kingman, small airport. We've got McCarran at Las Vegas, major airport. French Valley, I love this airport, so we added that one in. And we've got Palm Springs. I'm actually thinking about an FBO at Catalina, Diesel. I love flying into Catalina, so maybe we'll just put a small FBO there. But in any event, and generate some jobs there. So we've got FBOs with both types of gas at both, and we've got a 5,000-gallon tank at the larger airports, and we've got 100 LL as well available. Okay, so make sure if you're a member of our group, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Make sure that if you're buying gas at one of our FBOs, make sure you choose the VRA FBO. All right, so this way you're buying gas from us, and we're making a little bit of money on that. All right, Alan. Hope we'll see you in a bit. All right, so let's talk about. So that's the. Let's see. Anything else we can? Let's just. You know what? Let's look at. I want to just take a look at the cost of. This is how we check out the cost of. Airplanes. Now the A320 is considered a jet. It's not considered a heavy jet, which is great because I qualify. I rode the Longitude, which by the way we owned one and we sold it because it's now completely inefficient to use that in OnAir because it only holds 5,000 pounds of, actually 4,500 pounds of cargo, so it's not efficient anymore. So here's the Neo fly-by-wire. That's the one that we would want to look at. And let's just look at within 250 miles of McCarran, so we could search that database. All right, and these are the prices. So I always like to look at hours because you want low hours. Here's actually a pretty good one. You know, it's got 8,500 and it's 39. So 39. So you need $40 million to buy one. Okay, but the thing is, you know, that $39 million saves us, you know, $90,000 an hour in rentals. So yes, it's a big investment, but over time, you know, it's going to take you some time. Let's say you do, well, let's just say you do 10 flights. That's $1 million in rental. 10 one-hour flights is almost $1 million in rental, right? So 20, 30, you're going to do 30 flights in it easily, okay? Let's say 30 flights, right? So that's 15 million in rental fees that you can avoid by buying one. So that's why I mean we're going to be planning on using it quite a bit, especially if we have 2 or 3, at least 2 and maybe 3 pilots now that would fly it. And as long as we're smart about filling it up with capacity, it makes sense to own one. And this would be a really great one to get right there. But we don't have $39 million to buy one, and I refuse to borrow money. So we have to save up $40 million and hope maybe, well, we want to actually save up more than that because we like to always have a cushion of $5 million. So we need to have $40 million to spend, you know, to buy one. Anyway, so that's about the price we're going to have to pay. Okay. In comparison, the Challenger was $8.5 million. So, you know, 25% of the price. Somewhere maybe 30%, whatever. Yeah. So anyway, that's the goal, to own an Airbus. Saron, is that in Thunder you got 38 million? That's a lot. Nice. That's nice. Anyway, so that's the goal, to buy one of those at some point, and be able to fly that within the group. Okay, I don't think there's anything. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you guys. So let's let me go back to the tracking page so we can see. Oh, we're making really good time here. Probably should start to descend pretty soon. But I'll show you the Discord very quickly here. Hopefully this is my Discord and my son didn't. You know, I got it. All right. All right, guys. So this is the Discord server, Bambino Tech. There's a link in the description if you want to join. Go to the OnAir VR Aviation channels here, okay? And you can check out this pilot's application, okay? Scroll to the top. We have a pinned message that explains exactly what to do to sign up, okay? We're paying 50% pilot's fee right now, and remember, when you fly for the group, the group pays all fuel fees, rents for all the flights flown, as provided that you're flying for, you know, jobs for the group. And there are some requirements that we're asking people to follow. Okay, some of these are on the honor system, because the virtual airline features aren't completely developed yet, so they're still working on them. But anyway, we try to be fair about that. But check these out. You know, make sure you're try to fly within our network. If not, I mean, if you've got a great job that you could use one of our planes to fly out of the network, that's great. But please make sure to bring it back to the network. And I'll show you the network here in a second. So the network of FBOs are, I don't know if you guys can see this. I can't really make it any bigger. So Las Vegas, Bakersfield, Meadows, and Palm Springs is the hubs, and then we've got spokes coming off to DAG, to F70. We'll probably add one down here. Okay, so we have 3 spokes coming off there, and we're going to start spoking off of these hubs. So we'll probably add a spoke off of Las Vegas up this way, and we'll add a spoke off of Bakersfield up that way. So we've got some cool places to fly within the network. All right, we're trying to build a nice hubbed network. Anyway, so that's the airline there. So if you have any questions, you know, just IM me on Discord, or IM Diesel. He's like I said, he's our COO. Okay, and yeah, so that's about it for that. Now, just to remind you, OnAir is a subscription-based platform, so I think they give you a 7-day trial if you want to try it out. And we're in there's 3 different worlds. Thunder World is the most realistic. It actually operates on real time. So, like, for example, if you're at, let's say, Las Vegas, KLAS, and you want to fly a plane that's at Palm Springs, you actually have to transport your person from Las Vegas to Palm Springs. It could probably take you about a little over an hour for the system to move you there. Now, there's also these things called tokens, which I have 7 tokens left. I'm not sure if you regenerate these every month or whatever, but I've got 7 left. I use 3 of them, and what you can do is, because I have these aircraft available to me, these piston aircraft, I can select a destination, select an aircraft, and instantly I'll be moved to that airport. But I only have 7 of these left, and again, I'm not sure if these are regenerated. They should. I was thinking about that. If it's not regenerated, they should give you like 1 or 2 a month. Yeah, it is nice. So check under my company, okay, under tokens, okay, and that's a really handy way to get around. All right. Now, keep in mind, for example, the Challenger, if I token my way to a place where the Challenger is, I'm still going to need a co-pilot, so I'm going to have to hire a co-pilot, whatever. Okay. Yeah, they only work with a piston. Diesel, do you know if you get more of these, or do you have a limit of 10, or how does that work? All right, I should probably check my flight status here. So we've got, we should really start to, yeah, we should start to descend. Let's see what altitude I need to be at. I need to be, all right, this is a pretty low airport. It's at 700 feet, 627 feet, so I want to be at 3,000 feet, and my terrain's at 4,000. I'm going to go down to 6,000. So let's, so let's change this down to 6K. Okay, and we're going to go vertical speed, and we'll go down, let's just do 1,200 feet per minute. We got 15 minutes to our destination. We actually probably go with, yeah, that should be fine. 1,200 feet, 15 minutes. So that's 20. That should be fine.
Overspeed.
We'll have to watch the
overspeed
speed as we're descending.
Overspeed.
Now it seems like
overspeed.
It seems like the G2 corrected itself, and I'm not tilted anymore. So that happens like when you first
Overspeed.
It's happened to me before, like an X-Plane 11.
Overspeed.
Hold on, let me get this
Overspeed.
down here so I'm not
Overspeed.
overspeeding, because I can't
Overspeed.
stand that.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
I wonder if there's a way to turn that off.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
Alright, let's just keep it right there. Alright, so quick calculation, 1,214 minutes, so that's 12,000. And 4 is 16,000. Alright, we should be fine because we can descend more. We have a 10-mile approach into the airport, so that should be fine. Keep it light on the passengers. Yeah, so it's happened before where the G2 with X-Plane 11 at first go to take off in this plane. I don't recall it happening in other planes. And it seems like everything's a little crooked, tilted, and then all of a sudden it kind of corrects itself. So that's kind of where we are now. It's corrected itself. So maybe it's got something to do with the tracking, the inside-out tracking, I guess. Something like that. I don't know. All right, Pat. Take care. Thanks for joining. All right, let's go back to this. All right, so let's see. The tokens come special events. Okay. So everyone got 10 at Christmas and you earn more based on some criteria. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, you're flying your ass off, so I would assume you would earn them. I'm flying a lot. I haven't earned any. So we got to figure out how you earn tokens. I want to know. I'd like to know how. I got to figure that out. Okay, so you've been chatting with the devs about tokens. You think their intent was really just for special events. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I think it would be cool. Don't you think it would be cool, like, if you earned, like, not even earned. Like, let's say you have a max of 12, okay? But if you go below 12, they'll give you 2 tokens a month or something like that. You know? Yeah, I didn't get involved with the Christmas event, but I heard a lot of people said it was a lot of fun. So let me ask you guys a question. So, do you prefer watching the view here of VR in using the X-Plane mirror rather than using the Windows Mixed Reality choppy mirror? Even though the Windows Mixed Reality gives you a wider view, this is a more detailed view. I think the graphics are better, but it's certainly smoother. They should get rid of the travel constraint for virtual airlines. So you mean the fact that you've got to teleport when you transport? It takes real time. I kind of agree with you. I don't see the point in that, really, because if you take it away for everybody, it's all it does is to me it speeds up the game, right? So, for example, I say to myself, I want to fly the Challenger today, right? And I go downstairs, I boot everything up. And then I realized that the Challenger is at Palm Springs, but I'm at Las Vegas because the last time I used OnAir, I flew a mission to Las Vegas. Now I have to wait an hour, unless I have tokens, right? I have to wait an hour to fly. Well, in an hour I might not have time to fly anymore because I got something else to do. So either you have this token idea, which is really the same thing as eliminating the transport thing. I mean, the tokens basically eliminate the transport thing. So by giving you tokens, they're kind of like admitting that the transport thing is a pain in the neck. Don't you think? So just get rid of the transport thing. I agree with you. Yeah, or let's say that in our VA, right? Someone flies the Challenger to French Valley, okay? And now I want to fly the Challenger, but I'm in Ingman. That's going to take an hour and a half of real time to transport there, unless I have a token. It's ridiculous, man. Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, see that's why. So you're hosed. You're hosed if you don't own a single piston airplane. Yeah, why won't they let you take a TBM with a token? See, this is all right. So I'm an on-air partner. I'm trying to be. I'm going to try to be constructive because I don't want them to get mad at me. Okay. They've been very nice to me, and they give me to provide promotional keys and stuff, and I want to keep that going for you guys. Okay, so I'm not going to be negative, but I think there's a lot of things they can do in Thunder that would make it much more attractive. I think it turns people off this constant, and I think that one thing in itself, this idea of this transport taking, real time. I think that if they eliminate that one thing in Thunder, that would make a lot of people very happy. And I think it would increase the amount of activity in the world as well. Yeah, exactly. Who cares about the leaderboard? It's not... I don't get the competition thing. I don't get the... to me, a virtual airline, the goal is to build up the virtual airline. Like, we have a goal to own a 320, right? That's the goal, right? We had a goal to build an FBO network. We did that. That was the goal. We had a goal to buy a Challenger. We did that, right? It's more goal-oriented, the fun of it. Together, working to build up a virtual airline that people will be attracted to joining, right? The more pilots, the bigger it gets. If you eliminate this time constraint, right? Yeah, I've never looked at it either. I've never looked at the leaderboard. If you eliminate this time constraint thing, it speeds. I believe it will speed up play. I believe it will. Because think about it. If let's say I have 5 hours to fly. That's a lot. Let's say I have 5 hours to be in the on-air Thunder world for VR Aviation, right? And I want to fly 3 different planes, and they're at different places. So I fly the Challenger. I fly it for an hour. Okay, I get to the destination, and now I want to fly the what do you call it? The King Air, and the King Air is an hour away at a different airport. Well, either I got to fly back in the Challenger, which takes an hour, or half hour, let's say, or I got to transport, which takes an hour. Okay? At least an hour, maybe more. So so my 6 hours, if I do 3 transports, 3 of the 6 hours that I was going to fly, I think I said 5, but let's just say it was 6. 3 of the 6 hours that I have time to use on air are going to be taken up by transporting. What? Well, there's 3 flights that I could have flown, earning money, building up the economy. To me, it makes no sense. Had to have that. No sense. But they refuse to change it. No matter, there are actually people that believe it makes sense. Like if you go into chat and you start to talk about it, oh, I'll grease the landing. Don't worry about that, dude. I'm pretty confident with this plane. if you go into their Discord chat and you start having an opposing opinion about real-time, transports, everyone jumps on you. Oh, it's the integrity of the game and blah, 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 blah. Give me a break. It's a game. Speed it up. Create more activity. There's a new world coming out? Is it? Okay. Yeah, you get you get the time penalty for acceleration, exactly. With that, I can kind of understand. I can kind of understand that, okay? Because I kind of understand that, but I don't understand the transport penalties. All right, we're coming down to 6,000 feet. And our turn into the, I'm not going to remember the pronunciation, but this airport in Mexico. Right now you're looking at standard X-Plane 11 scenery, and it's pretty awful, as we all know. You have to be using ortho. I've got ortho for basically like half of the United States. It takes up like 4 terabytes on a Western Digital drive. But you have to, if you're going to fly an X-Plane 11 in VR, you really have to use ortho 4XP to get a good scenery experience, you know. Smooth as silk, baby. All right, so we're going to get down to 6,000 feet, and then we're going to be, let's see, we'll probably be right at was it HO 300? I think it is. Right when we just right about 6,000 feet. So we got 32 miles to our waypoint. 5 minutes away. Yeah, FSC, I agree. FSC gives you that, was a 30-hour or whatever it is in 48 hours. That's the way they handle it is great. Because you can bang stuff out, you know. I mean, if you're flying high, like this flight, I would, in FSC, I would accelerate this flight. Because it's 400 miles of the same stuff. Why do I need to, you know what I mean? So, Ron, you got your G2 this week. You're going to be tweaking the settings. That's awesome. Now, which are you flying X-Plane and FS 2020? I'm so happy that I bought the G2 and I upgraded from the CV1. It's such a difference, man. I was worried about going to Windows Mixed Reality, but so far it's been a really pleasant experience. It really has. And I got to tell you about, I'm going to be doing a video on this game that I found. All right, so it's, for me, it's planes, trains, and automobiles, right? That's sort of like the gaming, and golf. That's sort of like the gaming stuff that I like, right? So years ago, when my kids were little, we built a HO scale model train layout, okay? And we spent months building this thing, and it was a digital control system. So, I bought a nice system for controlling the trains, and I was using I forget the name of the Japanese manufacturer that makes these trains. Very good. They're really nice trains. Anyway, so it was a lot of fun. I ended up selling it all because the kids got disinterested in it, and it just took up too much space in the basement. But it was a lot of fun building it. And when I was a little kid, my grandfather and I built a HO layout, and it was just a lot of fun for me. So it kind of brings back a lot of memories. I found this game in Steam. I'm forgetting the name of it now. Hold on. Okay. This game in Steam called Rolling Line. Okay? And it's a model train building simulator, and it supports VR, Windows Mixed Reality, all the VR systems. And they've got a bunch of layouts that they've already built that you can check out, or you can build your own. Man, I'm telling you, it is the coolest thing. It was 20 bucks, okay? I was hesitant, but I watched some videos, and in 2D it doesn't look great. It looks cartoonish almost. But in VR, it's really cool. Like, the trains look really cool, and they move super slow, and you have a DCS control, and you can build layouts and stuff. Oh, it's so much fun. So much fun. So I'm actually going to do a video on it. I'm going to do a review on it with a G2. And if you're into model trains and stuff, I recommend it. It's just a really, really cool game, and it's 20 bucks. So anyway, so I know it's a little different than flight simulation, but I'm gonna get myself down here to 3,000 feet. But it's very cool. Rolling Line, it's called, and I'll be doing a video on it. So, Saron, you're using FS 2020 right now, yeah. So, Steam has stepped up the valve index. Yeah, they have to work on the Steam VR display. Their mirroring. It's awful. They need to fix that. I don't know what is wrong with that. Yeah, D-Rev Valley. I have D-Rev Valley. It's pretty awesome. Okay. I did a video on D-Rev Valley when it first came out. Was one of the, I think I was a beta tester. And it was cool, and then they came out with a new one, and that's cool. I really like that. But it's different than Rolling Line. Rolling Line, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a video on it. Rolling Line is like you're in the room, you're in your basement. Oh, look at that. It just didn't like I just broke some glass again. Oh, there we go. I just got nicked with a, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this turn? This is a standard turn for a jet. Come on. All right, we're going to land here. Let me focus on that. But Rolling Line, you're actually like in the autopilot's off here, guys. You're actually in the room, and you can build and control trains, and there's all different kinds of trains, and they look so realistic, and it looks like it's HO scale. Like if you're standing there, to me it seems like it's HO scale, but like there's crossing stuff, you know, there's just all kinds of animation. Overspeed. It's really I shouldn't have done that. I gotta slow this plane down here. Let me get my trim up to about 5.8 or 5.5. Alright, we want to get airspeed down to 210, and then we hit that first notch of flaps.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
I gotta slow this plane down.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
Alright, gear is down. We've got 3 green. 175 would be the next notch of flaps. And there it is. Alright, full flaps. Now we can slow down and land this plane at about 130 knots. This plane likes for landing. Unlike the longitude, which is about 145, 150 knots. This plane, you can bring her down to about 130 knots. Trim up to 6.3. 150. $140. I keep it at 140, around 140 just to be safe. I didn't get my call out for 500. I guess I gotta raise that. $130. All right, throttle's off. Flare. We're on the ground.
Landing time logged.
All right, we missed the center line there, but that's okay. The one thing about the Challenger, and I know there's a mod for it, is the sounds could be a little better. I mean, you could hear the engines crank up when you're cranking them. But like, and I've actually tweaked X-Plane 11's audio so you can hear like the tires screech. But the ground handling in this plane is tremendous. Look at that. It's just tremendous. All right, we're just going to park over here in the terminal. We'll let our passengers, let our cargo off. And we'll take off back to Palm Springs. All right, there you go. Beautiful. All right, so now we got to hit the parking brake. And for OnAir, you got to turn the engines off for it to register.
Engine off time logged. Flight is finished.
And now we're good, so I can turn them back on.
Monitored by OnAir.
And we got to have the APU running. Turn that on up there. Get the engines started up again. I'll let those run while we're waiting. And we have our waypoints going back already set. So, yeah, see, we're a little... I guess we're not tilted there. No, that seems fine. All right, so we're good there. We may have to add some fuel. We'll see. Yeah, that's a pretty good one, right? Appreciate that. All right, so let's go to this screen here so you guys can see what the hell I'm doing. All right, okay. We got a little bit of a penalty for that. So you can see here we're loading, offloading. Absolutely, Cerrone. What you see in the mirror is nowhere near what I see in the headset, and I always forget to let people know that, and I try to do that in the beginning of the stream, but oh right, I gotta set the banking on the Challenger. Yep, thank you, dude. I'll make sure I do that. Oh well. I broke some glasses. The mirror does not do it justice. The mirror is a 2D mirror, and it's not, you know, it's like maybe 720p, so it's nowhere near what I see in the G2. It just gives you a representation so you can see what I'm doing. But to really experience VR, you got to do it. You know, it's because I can't, you know, I can't really show you that, you know. Yeah, it looks like what you see in the Vive or this or the CV1, exactly. Oh, Diesel, Rolling Line's awesome. I'm going to do a video on it. Maybe we'll do a live stream on it because there's a lot to it, and I'm just getting familiar with it. It's very, I spent about an hour just playing around with the different layouts and stuff, and it was like really fun, man. It's just a fun game, you know. It's fun, and to be able to, you know, I always wanted to build, like, I was actually looking about building an N-scale layout. I love building model layouts. I just do, right? And it's just the time and the space, and N-scale is so small, and I don't know. So I was always looking for a really good virtual experience, and Rolling Line is the best one I've seen. It's very, very cool. All right, so now there's been a problem with OnAir where you can see my car goes off, right? The Challenger's unloaded, okay? So I should go back to the screen, and then I should see the Challenger ready to go, right? But it doesn't. It shows that it's not ready to go. So I can't, if I go here, it says the work's still being done, right? But, you know, you had an O-scale set up. Oh, you still have it in your garage. That's cool that you still have it. But, yeah, I just really love model trains. As geeky as that is, I just love it. Because it reminds me of my grandfather. And my grandfather taking the time to helping me build a layout. And I still remember it. And he was my grandfather was a major influence on me in life. Huge influence. Even though he died when I was 9. He was a huge influence on me. He owned a construction company that built bulkheads at this major river near this area that we lived. When I was 5 years old, my friends were playing with trucks in the sandbox and cranes in the sandbox. He had me sitting on his lap in a real crane at his construction yard, showing me how to use a real crane. I mean, it was tremendous. He taught me how to, you know, build stuff and hammer, you know, and he was just he died at 49 years old of cancer, and his goal, he saw me as the heir to his business. It was a thriving construction business that was building small bridges and bulkheads and stuff like that around the waterways of New Jersey, near like the Navesink and Shrewsbury River area. And it was my great grandfather did major construction around that area. But in any event, his goal was for me to take over this business, so he started teaching me at 5 years old. And unfortunately, I only had 4 years with him of doing that because he died when I was 9 years old. But anyway, model trains brings back such great memories of my grandfather that's why I just love to do it. So, but let's get back to this. Sorry. So you can see here, for some reason, this Challenger hasn't cleared. So if I go to here and I go back again, and I look at the Challenger, it's still yellow, so I can't load it up. The only way I can do this is I have to quit out of OnAir and reload OnAir. So that's a bug. I don't know if you guys have that same problem. If you do, please report it so they fix it. It's a pain in the neck. You started with your grandfather too, Diesel. That's awesome. Did you try the dashboard? Yes, I did. It still doesn't fix that. I still have the same problem. I tried going to the dashboard. Alright, so we gained a little money there. Let's just take a look at what we gained. Alright, so we got 35K. Looks like this was yesterday, so we got 35K. That's right. Alright, so that was, I should have done this. Boom. Alright, so we're in the Challenger. We're going to go here. We're flying to PSP. We got a job set up right there. Okay, it's only 8,700 pounds. But let's just check and see if there's anything else. So let's go to specific airport. Let's go to KPSP. Perhaps we find something else. Nope. Alright, so let's go to here. Look in the bottom right of the OnAir options screen. Keep alive debug. Oh. So check that. I guess we checked that. Take 6. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. All right, so that should be good. Thank you, man. Pain in the neck. All right, so we're going to load that up, and we need some fuel. We're going 309. Let's just get some fuel. What the hell? We'll just get we'll just go. Yeah, that should be fine. All right, so we're balanced there. We're only bringing this small load, but it's enough to pay for at least our fuel. So let's go and fly now. And we're going to K, PSP, and we got to use our co-pilot who's with us. Need a co-pilot on the Challenger. So anyway, rolling line. It's a cool game, dude. I got distracted. I was gonna set up American Truck Simulator because I gotta set up my wheel and all that to do that and do that in VR. But then I was like, somehow this popped up on Steam. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, dude, I gotta buy that. I bought it. I bought it. You know, listen, you can always return stuff with Steam. That's the good thing about it. I was like, $20 is a lot for that, you know. And I was like, oh man, let me check this out. In fact, maybe what we'll do at the end of the stream, I'm just gonna boot it up and show you guys real quick. All right, let's do that because I'm after this flight. I got some time today, so after this flight we'll do that. All right, so going to go to tracking here. Yeah, take 6. I actually have Gold Rush. I was addicted to Gold Rush for about 3 weeks. That the excavator, I was addicted to it. I lost interest in it. I can't remember why. They did something in the game. It's not VR, you know. I lost interest in it. If it was VR, then I would probably be interested. But it's not VR. It's 2D. In VR, I probably would get back interested in it. You know. The problem is there's a whole list. Yeah, it's 2D. So, all right, we're going to start our tracking here. And plane should be set up once we do that. Okay.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Let's get back into... Hey, Ryan, how you doing? Thanks for joining, man. Finally made it to a live stream. Well, I appreciate you joining. All right, so let's see. We got plenty of fuel. We got our next waypoint set up. Let's configure our plane here. So we're going to fly. We're going to go back up to 25K. And let's see. We're going to go vertical speed. 3,000 feet per minute. Where's the bank angle? I don't want to forget that. Where's the bank angle? Oh, here you go. Half bank is on. Thank you, Cerrone. So I won't break. Well, I probably don't have any glass issues here, but all right. So let's see. We can turn our APU and GPU stuff off. We don't need that. And we're good to go. So let's taxi and roll. Man, this is so smooth. Dude, there's no comparison between this and right now for me with the 1080 Ti Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is the smoothest VR experience in this plane that I've... With this plane and X-Plane 11, this is the smoothest VR flight simulation experience I've ever had. Smoothest and clearest. Without a doubt. I mean, it's so. I mean, there's a little bit of jagged, but not. Microsoft Flight Simulator is much more. Is this the airport? Oh, this is the. Damn it! All right, well, I'm going to back taxi here. Oh well. I took a wrong turn. Just going to back taxi. I mean, this is so smooth. Wow. It's awesome. All right, plenty of runway here, so let's spin her around. Smooth and clear. So glad I upgraded that CPU. I was hemming and hawing about it. I had a couple of issues during the upgrade, but I was able to figure them out. I'm so glad I spent the money and I upgraded that CPU. The 6700 was just dogging X-Plane. Having the 8 cores is fantastic. All right, good. Here we go. We don't need full flaps. Let's get our flaps set here, and then we'll be off and running. And the thing is, this is when you start to see the stutters, when you're moving quicker like this, and look how smooth that is. That is so smooth, man. Peripheral vision is, it just makes it all. I mean, it's great. All right, 140. Rotate. Look at that. Look at that.
Airborne time
lock. Look at that. Gear up. Flaps up. Airspeed looking good. We're going to bank.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
Let's get our autopilot on. Why are we going up? Okay. It's coming back to 3,000. My question is, why are we going up at 6,000 feet per minute? But that's because of my angle. So look how quick we got up here with this plane. Powerful, powerful plane. I think Tiger Woods has a Challenger. Seen many. I don't know if you guys have watched the HBO special on him, the 2-part series. It's very good. It's very good, and I know, and he was involved because he's filmed in it. This guy let HBO tell his whole story. I mean, even the bad parts, the really bad parts, you got to give the guy credit for that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was involved with it, like I said, because he was actually, there's film of him, not interviewed, but playing golf or whatever. That looks like it was filmed for the documentary, but I really highly recommend watching it. 2 parts on HBO. It's called Tiger. Goes from the time he was in a high chair to present day, and all the ups and downs. Okay, and like stuff that most people wouldn't want people talking about, they talk about. All the crap that he did, like, they talk about. And all of his problems with sex addiction and all that. And when he was addicted to opioids because of the back pain, it's based on the book. It's a very good documentary if you're interested in Tiger Woods. I personally loved him when he was a kid. I felt bad for him when he went through the crap with his back pain and the addiction. When he went through the stuff with his sex addiction, I mean, that's an issue that people have. No one was pleasant about that. He broke a lot of people's fans' hearts when he did that kind of stuff, but I don't know. Watch the documentary. I thought it was fantastic. I really did. All right, we're getting up to altitude here. Yeah, I wish I could have chat here. Hopefully Laminar will fix the Reverb controller soon. I mean, it's taken them long enough. It's been 3 months. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. I haven't really looked into it. But they haven't come out with a configuration fix for that yet. Maybe that I know of. All right, a little more than halfway up. We're getting up to 25K. It's very smooth, Ryan. Very smooth. Yeah, the Challenger is awesome. It is an amazing plane, SAR, for sure. Right now I'm flying back to PSP, Ryan. Amaki, how you doing? Thanks for joining. I'm doing great. Hope you're doing great. Ryan, I upgraded from an i7-6700 to an i7-10700K. And I had to upgrade my motherboard. I went to a Gigabyte Vision D board because it's a gaming slash content creation board. It's got like Thunderbolt on it and stuff. So I'm eventually going to migrate all my stuff over to one machine to do music and content creation. Yeah, it does have FLC, and I should use that instead for sure. I forgot. Don't you have to have auto throttle set for that, I thought? I'll play with it. I should use it. You're right. Laminar said they understand that. Yeah, they did say that. I know that. But they have not. They have. Yeah, it's been literally. When did November, December? So almost 2 months. Oh, you don't need auto throttle for FLC. Okay. I'm going to learn how to use that then with this plane because I'm going to be flying this plane a lot. Look at that. I'm getting almost 50 frames per second in this plane in VR. Look at the frame time. It's going under 2. Frame time, as you guys probably have heard me say before, is the most important thing in VR. Okay? In flight simulation overall. Frame time is, the higher the frame time, the more the stuttering. Okay? When you see stuttering, usually your frame times are going to be above 3. Right? High 3s, above 3. When you see no stuttering, your frame time is usually 2 or below. 0, sorry, not 3. 0.03. Okay? So 0.03 and above usually is stuttering. 2.5 and below is smooth. Look at this. We're almost at 0.018. You could see it. And we're getting 50, because we're high up, we're getting 50 almost. Yeah, and this is a 1080 Ti. Now, this is the same 1080 Ti. I haven't changed anything. In fact, I increased the graphics on the left side of X-Plane 11 to maximum. I believe I'm running buildings at medium or one notch above medium. Okay, reflections I think I still have at low or off. But look at that. 55, 54, 53, 50, over 50 frames per second. This, yeah, exactly. X-Plane 11 is super CPU intensive. This is all due to upgrading from the i7-6700 to the 10700K. Major improvement. That's awesome. All right, so let's see here. All right, we just hit our altitude. We're at 25,000. You can see I guess that's the Pacific Ocean over there. High enough to see that. We're going to want to throttle back as we get up to speed here. But I'm going to start using the FLC for sure. Because you get up quicker, right? All right, so Ryan, can I use the FLC on the way down? So what I could do is hold the speed on the way down. I'm going to try that. All right, we're going to start to crank back the throttle here. We're getting up to over 300 knots. 436 on the ground. We got 45 minutes to Palm Springs. And we'll keep it right there at 72%, 72.5%. No FLC on the way down. That's what I thought, yeah. Yeah, it is a solid upgrade. Yeah, next up is a new GPU. I really don't need it in an X-plane. You know, it's like... Yes, in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I need it, okay? 3080 is what I'm looking at. I'm certainly not going to overpay for it. I can get along with a 1080 Ti until they come down in reasonable price. I'm not going to be jumping to go buy one. You've only been able to do one flight. You trying to score a 3090, Cerrone? Yeah, good luck. You've only been able to do one flight in FSC because for some reason all the group assignments have been in Europe. Yeah, well, you can do... Ryan, you can choose any... If you're flying for VR Aviation and FSC... you can choose any flight anywhere and just say fly for VR Aviation, and those will get credited to the group. Use VNav. With VNav, you have to fly plan loaded with the waypoint. Yeah, right. You got to have waypoint and altitudes. Exactly. I don't have that in there. Yeah, I haven't used VNav. I guess I could do that, set up a flight plan with SkyVector and roll it in to X-Plane 11. Certainly can't do that in Microsoft Flight Simulator because it has its own file type for flight plans. It doesn't use FMS or FPL or whatever. But we could certainly do that with X-Plane 11. Xfinity just sent me a text that I've used 100% of my internet data. I didn't know I had a limitation. I've never had that before. I've never had a limitation on internet data. Right, so you use VNAV. Yeah, load up an approach and an arrival. Yeah, so I haven't looked into what the hell happens now that I've reached my 100%. Do I have to pay extra? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I have the maximum plan, too. Unbelievable. Any way to screw you. Unbelievable. It was a text message, Conrad. So it's definitely coming from them. Yeah, I have to get more apt with approaches and stuff, because I don't really do a lot of that, and I really should learn how to do that more. Especially if I'm going to fly the A320, I really need to have that down. So I'm going to be doing another upgrade. I bought... right now I have 4 8-gig sticks of memory, and they're 2400 megahertz. So I bought 2 16-gig sticks that are 3600 megahertz. So we're increasing the speed of the memory in the system considerably from 2400 megahertz to 3600 megahertz. So hopefully that'll have some effect as well. Yeah, I mean, with the A320, you can still set up a waypoint to get you lined up with an airfield and stuff. So you really don't need approaches. I could fly without approaches, but I think the best way to do it is with approaches. So I'm going to have to take my licks and figure that out. Yeah, so sometime this week or weekend or this week, I'm going to be upgrading the memory. Yeah, Ryan, the BIOS that I have for this board does that automatically. It sets it up automatically. It's got it built. The Gigabyte Z490 boards does that automatically. So that's going from 2400 to 3600 megahertz. That's a pretty decent improvement. Yeah, I've tried it before, Cerrone. It's been a while since I used the automated, like the approach and the landing stuff, and it was pretty wild because it just basically gets you to like 500 feet, and there's the airfield, so you just take over and land. But I'll have to check it out. I have watched A320 Pilot. He's the real guy. I've watched him for sure, and that's how I'm kind of learning how to fly it. I appreciate that, Diesel. Yeah, he's a real world A320 pilot. So, gonna spend some time doing that. How do you get the time to do all this stuff? I still haven't mastered the Challenger. So guys, if you haven't liked this video, just do me a favor and scroll down, hit the like button. I'd appreciate it if you did that. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification button. This way, when I'm doing a stream, you're going to get notified ahead of time. I usually schedule them a day in advance, so you have some time. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're interested. Yeah, it is definitely one of my top planes, an X-plane, Ryan. I agree with you. This plane, the Aerobas DA62, is a great plane as well, an X-plane, and the Torxim SR22. They're fantastic flying those planes. I love flying those planes. I even like the stock. I like the stock 172 as well. Not a bad plane. Yeah, this is definitely up there. Yeah, I like the 932, Cerrone. It's very cool. It's probably my favorite plane in Microsoft Flight Simulator. That and the Longitude, those are my two favorite planes to fly. I like the SR-22 in there too, but the TBM 930 is a favorite to fly. It's just a really cool cockpit. It's pretty fast. It's fun to fly. Yeah, SAR. There actually are some Challenger videos already that I've actually learned from. I probably should do that because when I do the videos, it helps me learn. And then when one of the reasons why I started this channel was because I would forget stuff. So if I did a video, I figured, okay, let me do a video on how to do this. And this way, I'm helping people. Plus, if I forget, I could go look at the video. And that's one of the reasons why I started this channel. But yeah, I should, as I do that, it might be a good idea. Ryan, I have not flied share cockpit. It's something I want to do for sure. This would be a cool plane to do it in because it's got such great frame rate and frame time. Look at that, sub-2 frame time. That's incredible. The CJ4, is that the stock one that comes with Microsoft Flight Simulator? It's okay. I like it. The problem is that there's a lot of functionality that's missing. Like the clock doesn't even work on the PFD. There's so much stuff that they need to work out with the navigation stuff that it's kind of a turnoff, Have to download the working title CJ4. Okay, I'll make a note of that one. Yeah, Longitude does need a lot of work, dude, for sure. Oh yes, I love that PC-12. I forgot. That's another great one in VR in X-Plane 11. I agree with you, Sar. I actually built up so much money in FS economy with the PC-12 because it flies fast. It's 10 passengers. It's great. It's a great plane. I love that plane. Although in VR, it doesn't function well because a lot of the controls don't function well. But I know that SimVR Labs had a mod for it, but then that mod stopped working. So it's kind of a pain in the neck in VR for me. Maybe you have something else in VR that allows you to control like the autopilot and stuff. But for me, I haven't been able to figure that. I haven't gotten something that works consistently. So I have to go in and out of VR. Oh, you fixed them yourself. Well, I mean, if you have a config file that works for VR, you should probably post that, man. It may help some people out. All right, yeah, Ryan, thanks. Please send me that. I appreciate it. Yeah, SARS, please share that. I would love to check that out because I kind of shy away from the PC-12 because of that problem, that it doesn't function well in VR. The autopilot particularly. All right, let's see where we are here. We're getting close to the... All right, 243 miles. "32 minutes from our waypoint. We're going to be coming from the east, landing from the east, so we'll probably be... I have to check out the chart, but we'll probably want to be probably about 6,000 feet like the last time, so... When we have about 20 minutes left, we'll start our descent into the San Diego area. Oh, sorry, PSP area. Palm Springs area, I should say. What's nice is we'll have this plane right back in our network for the next person that wants to use it. Thanks, Sar. I appreciate it. Mick, yeah, you send me in Discord. That'd be great. Or if you want to just post it in the, there's an X-Plane 11 channel on my Discord. Just post it there. I'm not sure. We have one in FS Economy. We have to look at OnAir because you got to remember OnAir. This is the major difference between OnAir and FS Economy. FS Economy is passenger oriented for the most part. Yes, there's cargo, and you can make. I made a lot of money with the Challenger flying cargo, but most of the jobs in FS Economy are passenger jobs. And on the contrary, in OnAir, most of the major money jobs are cargo. So the PC-12, and we can actually look at it. Let's take a look at that. That's a good point. Let's go to desktop here. World, search aircraft, choose list. It's a single engine turbo, right? So PC. Oh, PC-12. Take a look. All right, Carinado PC-12. First of all, you got to figure out which version to use. I guess version 7. Why do they have 3 versions? Or actually 4 versions. So version 7, not that expensive. All right, so version 6 has. All right, so the problem is version 5 has 9 passengers. Version 7, I mean, if I can get away with this one, I would want to use this one. It's got more cargo, and it's got more passengers. But I'm not sure. It's confusing as to which one. Diesel, if you're still there, like which one of these would you pick? They're all going to work? Is OnAir at some point going to say this one doesn't work or disqualify one? I'm not sure. Let's assume it's this one because it's 9 passengers and 4,000 pounds. That's actually pretty reasonable for $1.5 million. Let's look at between KPSP. All right, so there's one for $1.5 million, 48. All right, so we could buy one for $1.5 million. You know what, Conrad? That might be a good idea. I mean, it's only just 4,000 pounds, but it's 9 passengers, and it's fun to fly. Maybe we'll buy one. You load it up in the sim and search for the aircraft loaded in sim. Then it won't be wrong. Okay. So this button right here. Okay, so that's how to do it. It's great that you knew how to do that and explained it. But the problem is, if I don't know that, which one do I choose? Why does OnAir allow 4 different versions of this plane in X-Plane 11? I don't understand that. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I guess in FS 2020 you have different aliases. Is that kind of like what it is? But if one won't work, and I don't know about this button, and then I go and buy it, what happens then? So let's say I bought the wrong one. Is there a way to sync it up, I guess? Hopefully there is. So this is why Diesel's a great COO of VR Aviation. He knows everything about OnAir. But anyway, this might be a plane we want to think about because it's 4,000 pounds, which is reasonable. It's pretty fast. It's got a good range, and hopefully you have to do the switch thing. Okay, so if you have the wrong one, but then you might get charged money or whatever. But in any event, we'll figure that out. So you load the plane in the sim, click this button, and then we'll know if you got the right one or not. Let's hope it's the 9 passengers, which is pretty good, and 4,000 pounds. This one is this is definitely a plane that we might want to think about. Yeah, I think you're right. Though I didn't realize you could do that. From now on, I'll put that in the step. Yeah, I do have a PC-12 and X-Plane 11, so I can figure out which one. But 1.5 million, I might. Yeah, well, let's take a look at that. Let's put that on the list to do. We have other things we want to do first in the VA, but definitely, I think the PC-12 is one that might be popular. Conrad, would you fly the PC-12 in OnAir if we had one? Probably not. Okay. Because that's the thing, too. I don't want to buy planes that are just going to sit there. And if it's just me flying it, then we'll hold off. Save up for the A320. I think the 320 should be the goal. At some point, maybe a PC-12. But right now, 320 is the goal. All right, Ryan. Good. Good, good, good. Just remember, it's a paid service, right? You get a 7-day free trial, but it's a subscription service. Just so you know that, okay? But yeah, please join the VA. Look on the Discord; it explains how to do it, and yeah. So we would love to have you. Yeah, maybe we'll look at that. We'll take a look at that. Figure out which planes we really want. You know, and which ones. Let's just take a look here. We're always constantly assessing. I mean, the aircraft, we want to keep the King Airs, right? We want to keep this plane. I think we want to have an Assault. We want to have a 930. We could probably, I mean, I would prefer to fly the Aerobas Ti SC2. I actually put money into the VA to buy the SR-22, so I like to keep those, okay, because I fly those, you know. What's the price per month? Let's see, OnAir. Pricing. Here we go. So it's in pounds, all right. It's like 30 pounds a year, okay. If you want 3-month access to try it out, or 1-month access, it's £7. It's not bad, you know. As a partner, they gave me a free subscription for a year, okay. But you know, 29. What is that? 30. It's probably for $33 US, something like that. I don't know. Not that bad. The best deal is this one. 2 years for, you know, probably $50 US. $40 a year. Yeah. This is probably $50 a year for 2 years. It's probably worth it, right? If you're into it. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But you know, if you want to just try it out, buy a 3-month access, you know, and then take it from there. But it's really not. For what they're doing, I think it's worth it, you know. $66 for 2 years. Okay, thanks. So yeah, I'm not sure which planes we would get rid of, dude, to tell you the truth. You know, I really don't want to get rid of any of these. Maybe the Baron, but I think people would fly the Baron. You know, we have to have planes that attract people that, you know, like to fly them, right? And these are pretty common planes that have reasonable loads, you know. So anyway, I'm not really ready to depart with any of this. Someone's flying the King Air. Way to go! See, this is what they should tell you: who's flying it, which pilot is flying it. Doesn't tell you that. They need to work on that. I know this isn't the VA view, but it doesn't show you that. Trust me. All right. Let's see where we are. Airport. We're still 174 miles away. So we got plenty of time. Yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at that one. I don't know if the load is going to be there. Let's see. Let's take a look at the CJ4. We had a longitude. We sold it because it doesn't. It's just not equitable. CJ4. See, it only has 4,000 pounds. Okay. And 10 passengers. It's not going to be a moneymaker. This is not going to be a moneymaker, you know? Yeah, the problem is it's going to attract. Yes, people like to fly it, but it's like the challenge. It's like the longitude. Look at the longitude. Now the longitude they had at 14,000, but then they changed it to now it's 4,600. That's why we sold it. That's why we sold it. Yeah, you could look at the flight log. So if we go to aircraft and we go to King Air, flights. You can see it gets a lot of use, gets a lot of use. So these King Airs are definitely a good deal. Let's see, let's look at this one. I think it's mainly me using this guy. The Caravan, a decent amount. Nova used it, okay, decent amount. This King Air. It is a workhorse. That's why we have two of them. Look at that. Boom. Right? It's almost 6,000 pounds, so got a lot of people using it. Those are good planes to have. People like to fly them. They're fun to fly. They're pretty fast. They've got good range. King Airs are good. The SR22s, like I said, I put in $400,000 to buy two of them. I just, I basically bought them myself, but because I like to fly those, so that's a personal thing. Sorry guys, but we're not selling them. I like flying them, and I might as well make a little bit of money for the airline when I'm flying them. So, and same with the Asoba, the 930. People like flying it, so that's why we got it there. So, but in any event. Another King Air. We need 3 King Airs, you think? I love the SR22. Now I say let's stay with 2 King Airs. Let's keep our goal. See, this is the job of the CEO, right? The CEO has to keep the company on the vision of the company on the straight line. Our vision right now is to own an A320. That's our vision. So we're not deviating from that. I'm going to keep the company on that track to own an A320. We got to earn $40 million to do that. So that's the goal. Exactly. That's the goal. Stay with the 2 King Airs. This will help us. What we need right now is pilots. We need pilots. I'm actually thinking about doing a 30-second video to attract pilots to the VA. So I got an idea for how I'm going to do that. It'll be in my YouTube channel. We can post it around to track people. I don't think any VA in OnAir has done that yet, so it'll be a little bit groundbreaking. And hopefully it'll work. So 30, maybe 60 seconds, depending. But it's a very short video on getting people to join. All right, Ryan. Good. We need pilots. We need pilots. And by the way, I'm not yeah, and you can start making money for sure. And the nice thing is you can fly planes. You don't have to worry about renting them. You don't have to pay money to rent them, right? You're going to get 50% pilot's fees. Now, we're going to be raising that as we go along. We'll probably, but for now, in the beginning, we're keeping it at 50% because we need the money in the coffers, yeah. Conrad, I agree with you. The SR-22 was the reason I bought the Premium Deluxe as well. And it was a bait and switch. It's a decent plane, but it's not anywhere near the torque sim in X-Plane 11. It's nowhere near it. I mean, you can't even look at the flight plan on the PFD. It's so small. It doesn't have any of the engine parameter and the longitude too. That's the other one. Yes, I agree with you. Now they've improved them, but to me that was $60 that, you know, people can avoid. I'm still longitude's fun and everything, but it's not going to be an on-air plane because you just can't. When they limited the cargo, it basically took that all away. All right, we're crossing over hopefully soon into it looks like we just crossed over from standard X-Plane 11 graphics right there. If you look over there, that line. Now that's where the Ortho 4XP begins that I have generated. It's pretty interesting to see that, the difference in terrain. You see that right there? It's a good example of it. So up ahead of us is all Ortho 4XP. All right, so we're going to start to descend. We'll go down to... this is one thing I hate about these controllers for the G2 is they don't auto-wake. Why didn't they do that? That's one thing that Oculus had right. Let's just go down to 8,000 because I don't know what terrain we have to deal with. So we'll just go down to 8,000. And I'm going to show you rolling line before we end the stream because I'm so excited about that game. It's a really cool game. All right. We got our flight speed at just about 300 knots, and we are going down at 1,400 feet per minute. Maybe want to go a little faster. All right, 100 miles to the Tivuk waypoint, which is about 10 miles into PSP. So we're coming in from the ocean side, so we should be good to go. Yeah, the scenery is the only good part. I agree with you. Yeah, Conrad. Let's hold off on that, the buying into the VA. I want to keep that as an open. Right now, we're not open for investment. Right now, we're not open for investment, but we may open that up. Yeah, Ryan, I've got 4 terabytes, actually close to 5 terabytes of Ortho on my on a hard drive. Yeah, it takes up a lot of space, but it's worth it, you know. I think I paid $200 for the hard drive. It's a Western Digital Black hard drive, 6 terabyte. It's a lot, but I use it for backup too, so it kind of like dual purposes. All right. Yeah, I mean, FS Economy is great, and I'm not abandoning FS Economy, but it's very different. And OnAir has some warts, but by the same token, it's when you have people helping you run a virtual airline that you can trust, then it's more manageable, you know, because there is a lot to it, you know. Certainly not, it's too much for one person to manage a virtual airline. You definitely have to do it as a team, you know. And now that we have two people, myself and Diesel, doing that, and maybe, you know, Conrad, as we go along, we might open that up for investing. You know, it's much more manageable. It's manageable. Pulling jobs, and we kind of got a little overzealous with the amount of jobs that we pulled in for the VA, so we're going to be a little bit more discreet about that, or a little bit more sensible to limit that, so we don't get all these late penalties. That's okay, but yeah, it is fun. Now look at that, all that farmland. All that farmland, Southern California. What lake is that ahead of us there, I wonder? Let's see. Oh, no, we're still in Mexico. Salton Sea. The Salton Sea. And check me, we're not coming in from the desert. I'm sorry, from the ocean. We're coming from the south into PSP. Right, exactly. The late penalties are fines that increase as the time lags. So we need to be careful about that. And if you're part of the VA, we've got a channel on my Discord where you can request jobs, and either myself or Diesel will go pull them in for you into the VA. Right now, I don't think pilots can do that. They should give pilots the ability to do that. I'm not sure. I don't know if they can or not, but in any event, right now we'll that's the process. If you have a job you want us to pull in for you, post it in the job dispatch channel on the Discord, and then we'll pull it in. But we'll also periodically pull in jobs that are within our FBO network. Okay, so this way you can, if you want to do round trips, you'll be able to do that. And what we're doing is the jobs we're going to pull in, Diesel, we haven't spoken about this yet, but I want to limit the jobs we pull in to only jobs that are to and from points within the VA, because some of the jobs we pulled in were to airports outside the VA hub network, and that causes some issues. They're harder to complete because you got to go outside, and we're going to try to keep it to jobs that are within, we have endpoints within the VA, just to make it easier to keep the planes within our network. All right, so look for that. So Ryan, the VA is mainly the hubs are Las Vegas, McCarran, KLAS, Palm Springs, PSP, and Meadows of Bakersfield, BFL, KBFL. That's the triangle, okay? And then we're building spokes off of that. So that's basically, if you look on the Discord server, there's a channel that will always show what the FBO layout looks like and what aircraft we currently own and have exposed, you have it at your disposal as a member, all right? Yeah, we're trying to keep it organized, and we're trying to keep all the information on Discord so that it's simple and in one place. All right? Right on top of the San Andreas Fault, yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah, so half of our network may be in the ocean. I didn't think of that. Just do a logistics query from one of my FBOs to a random FBO. If I'm at the airport with no VA jobs, can I take another job rather than ferry an empty plane? I believe you can, or do you have to... Diesel, maybe you can answer that. Guess you can just have your pilot and plane transported without a token. Yeah, I guess you can do that, yeah. For interest or read about the lake to the south, that's the Salt, is that Salton Sea? The one we're passing right now? I'll have to read about that. All right, we're coming down to altitude here. Let's see, how far are we? We got 46 miles to PSP. One of the worst environmental disasters in history. Wow. I'll have to read about that. All right, so Palm Springs is at 476 feet, so we can probably bring her down to 3,000 at this point. Let's do that. All right, slowly descending into Palm Springs area. Well, there are two corporate jets already. I mean, you've got the Longitude and the CJ1. You mean like bigger than that, like regional kind of jets? If you show one of them off the FBO's... Oh, the queries, yeah. Oh, Challenger, yeah. Yeah. Be nice if they did the Challenger in FS 2020. I would really dig that. I dig that. Or we just went low and hit the low fuel. Give me real. Let me go to just very quickly. I'll show you. I gotta go to manage this, and I'll show you how the FBOs are set up. We'll just show you. Pardon me. All right, come on. There you go. So FBOs. Let's just take a look at McCarran. So you can see here we've got we got one outside because we want people coming into the FBO. We've got one going to BFL, and then one random. All right. We probably should change. You know, we got to think about this diesel. I'm thinking we should make both of these random for all the hubs, and keep this like at 20,000 pounds, and you know, like 24 passengers to lower. You know, I think we should do that on all the hubs. This way, it'll generate more jobs within the hubs, if you will, and even to the outside. But we definitely want to have one that's coming from the outside. So maybe for the hubs we go 2 randoms, and we have one at 10,012 and one at 20,024. Yeah, the problem though is that I'd rather have a lot of little than a few amount of big. Although I guess we could ping. Small planes can ping away at this. I guess that's maybe what you're thinking. I don't know. We have to think about it. But anyway, so this is how we have the hubs set up. Pretty much all the hubs set up. All right, I'm going to get back to flying here. Let's see. There's Palm Springs. Let's slow this plane down. And we are at 3,000 feet. Well, actually, Palm Springs is over those cliffs there, so I'm going to need to get up here. So let's take the autopilot off here. Tell you what, we can hand fly our way in here. Let's do that. Turn off that annoying yellow light. Now, I would say that those mountains there, they look much better in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Pretty plain Jane and ortho. I'm sure in real life there's trees and stuff and other stuff on them. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's kind of plain Jane. But it certainly is smooth as silk. Smooth as silk. You know, maybe diesel, if you want to have the larger jobs, that's fine. But maybe we should have 2 randoms. Both of at the hubs, they should both be random. Because this way, you know, this way jobs are going to be generated for multi-points within the hub rather than single points, you know? Just thinking that. I'm not ignoring you guys. I can't see the chat while I'm in VR, unfortunately. All right, I could certainly easily see the Palm Springs airport and start to make out the runways. They're a little fuzzy, but starting to make them out. And there we got PSP 9 miles away. We certainly want to slow this plane down. Configure our trim for landing. I'm gonna have to put some pressure on the flaps here to slow this bird down.
Overspeed, 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 overspeed.
You're gonna have to listen to that for a couple minutes here, guys.
Overspeed, overspeed,
or a minute or so.
Overspeed, overspeed.
I did not calculate my speed correctly.
Overspeed, overspeed, overspeed.
Now right there you can see a seam in the ortho right there. You see that where it goes from dark to light?
Overspeed.
It's pretty wild. So that was like taken during a different time of the day, I guess.
Overspeed.
All right. We're good. We got the runway in sight here. It's runway 31, I believe.
Overspeed.
Yeah, of course, the difference is in Microsoft Flight Simulator, all these homes would be in 3D. Here, some of them are because I've got, I don't have high set, I don't believe, for buildings. It's okay. Nice long flight today. Golf course looks nice. 2 nice flights. Covered about 800 miles in the Challenger. Made a little bit of money for the virtual airline. Got a nice long runway here. 38 knots. Super, super, super smooth. Start to throttle back, flare up. Let the energy drain out of the plane. A little different in the jet, but than the single engine piston planes. Right on the center line. That's a nice landing right there, if I have to do say so myself. I love the way this the runway in X-Plane has this tan color to it. I've never flown into Palm Springs, so I'm not sure if that's real or not, but it certainly looks cool. I know this is add-on. I added on this scenery. Certainly looks cool. There's the tower. Gonna head down to the terminal. think we even have a Marshal out there. Didn't expect that. I do like in FS 2020 where they've got the animated Marshals. It's pretty cool. But this guy's not going to move. Oh, I want to be over here. You'll have to walk up the stairs, folks.
Engine off, time logged.
All right.
Flight is finished.
Thank you, Diesel.
It has been
Appreciate
monitored
that.
by OnAir.
All right, let's see what we got here. So, look at this. Even with all the scenery, 34, 36, beautiful frame rates. Nice and smooth. It's awesome. All right. All right, this Challenger is going to get unloaded. Now, I promised you I'm going to show you rolling line, all right? It's pretty cool. If you guys are interested in checking that out, this is hopefully I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to have to set some things up here in OBS to do that, but give me 1 second here. So that's going to conclude our flight. Let's just take a look at the money I made today for myself. All right, so a decent amount of money, right? I made 30. What is that? 43,000. Not bad. Okay, so if I go to, let's go to manage. Let's see what we did for the airline. And I can quit X-Plane 11. If I go to here, let's see. All right, so we made 8,500. There we go. Yeah, so we made about the same. Not bad. Minus some fees. We had jet fuel we paid. We had landing fees, aren't too bad. So we made a decent amount of money for the group. It's small, not huge flights, and they weren't super packed. Sometimes you can, if you fill up the Challenger with cargo, you can put about 10,000 pounds in there. You can, make a decent amount of money for the group. So not bad. But let's check out. We could just check out the status of the VA before I show you a rolling line. So we got $4.8 million in cash. Value is about $15 million. We have 11 aircraft, as I showed you before. We've completed 414 jobs, and we have 8 pending. If we can go here, I can show you the pending jobs. Okay, these are all our pending jobs. We'll be adding some to the block here as well. And all right, Ryan, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. All right, so that's OnAir. That's what we're going to do for OnAir. Let me get to... I got to figure out how to do this now, so we're going to go to rolling line. Supports this version. Do you want to continue? No. So let's go to my Steam library and go to rolling line, play, Steam VR mode. All right, guys, so I'm fairly new to this. All right, so bear with me. This is rolling line. Now, I'm going to be in VR, and I'm not going to be able to... let's do a new game. I want a simple layout. New game. top of south. That's I want a rotating weak pass. No. Main shelf. No. Santa Fe. That's the one I was looking at. That's pretty cool. Let's check out Santa Fe. So let's start that. Are you looking at this? Now, just imagine looking at this in 3D. Seriously. Look at this. See what I mean? This is we're in a model train room here. Okay. What I can do is I can pick up this controller, okay, and I point it at the locomotive, and I just started a locomotive up, and now I use the thumb key, go backwards, or go forwards. I am telling you, the detail on these looks really cool. Get that one rolling here. I want to get my other controller so I can show you this. Okay, so let me turn that other controller on. So I like to use come on other controller, come into view here. Okay. You gotta keep the thumb thing on. So now I can scroll over here, and there should be another train back here somewhere. So here's the back of the set here. There it is. Sorry, I'm moving quick here. So I want to select this guy here and control him, get him moving a little faster. Okay. So now watch over here. Check this out. Watch the signals. How cool is that? How cool is that? I'm seeing this in 3D, guys. It looks like HO trains, man. It looks like HO trains. Now that's going into the abyss over here, but if I go into the other side of this room here, let's check out this part of the layout. This is the desert layout. Check this out. Let's go over here. Look at that. Look at the bridges. Here comes the sound of the F7. Two F7s. This is all in 3D. Now, you guys are looking at 2D. It's all in 3D. It's amazing. That is... It's super... For 20 bucks, dude, it's super cool. I'm telling you, I could waste a lot of time building a layout here, for sure. I could waste a lot of time building a layout here. You can see this is basically a room. Now those are like, this for this here, that controller right there, that's how you edit the terrain. You can actually point at stuff and you can do editing. There's a lot to it, okay? But just look at that. It's awesome. It's like Digitrax, exactly, dude. Oh wait, so I haven't shown you this. Watch this now. So if I want to go inside this train, check this out. I'm inside the train. How cool is that? Now I'm inside the train. And I can control it from here. How cool is that? Look at this. Now we're inside the train. Here's the other train. These guys have a winner here, I think. I really do. For 20 bucks, this has been around a while. For 20 bucks, I think they have a winner. Now, teleporting out is like weird, like. All right, so now I'm by the side of the rail here, okay? So if I want to, I haven't figured out how to, like, teleport back into the room. Like I say, here's the rail. Here's the crossing. Now, I'm looking at this in 3D. Now, these gates should go up here, right? And look, there's an airplane up there. Check it out. All right, that's annoying. Now I want to go out. Oh, now we're back in the room. All right, good. All right, I'm going to just take the headset off here for a second and see what you guys think. Hold on. 'Cause I can't really... Yeah, it's like Digitrax. Yeah, I mean, Take 6. It's an excellent game. It really is. Your favorite's Run B for prototypical operation. Unfortunately, it's in 2D. Yeah. So, I have it in mind. I'm back in. I can't see chat now, but I have it in mind. Like, look at this. Look at this. All right, so this is a pretty elaborate layout. Let me show you another one. Hold on. Let me go back to. How do I get? I forgot how to get back to. There we go. Main menu. Go to main menu. Alright, so let's go new game. I want to show you this one. This one is insane. Hopefully it won't crash here. This layout. Look at this layout. This layout is insane. Look at this. This layout is insane. Look at this thing. And these are, it's like, it looks like it's constructed like you would construct a real layout. Now, the foliage and stuff is a little kind of fake-ish. Like, it, you know, it's kind of like cartoonish. But the trains themselves, like here, I'm going to just go, let me get a controller here. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to select this train right there. Just start it up. Check that out. Now, I haven't done like switching and stuff. But look at that yard there. That's awesome. And again, you got to see it in 3D. You guys are looking in 2D. It's really cool, man. Now here's a little workshop, right? So you can like put different things together and add trains to the line. Okay. But look at this thing. Look at this layout. Check out this village. That is so cool. This is a modeler train's dream here. I mean, you could build a layout that would cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, the only thing, look in the distance. You see that part over there, how it's like all green? It doesn't show you the detail in the distance. I think you can change that in the settings because, you know, it would take a lot to generate those graphics, but as we get close here, we can see the more detail, right? I don't know what the hell happened to my train. It's coming out of here somewhere. Not sure. But anyway, this is rolling line. There's an airplane. Look, check it out. So you can have like airplanes flying in your layout, and it's a 3D. Looks to be, what kind of plane is that? It's a jet, small jet. Check it out. That's pretty cool. Look at that, though, man. It's awesome. I was blown away. I was like, I didn't know what to expect. Then I saw the detail, like the modeling. It looks like the kits that you would buy to build these different, you know, walkways and stuff, you know. It's pretty cool. There's another jet. Anyway, that's Rolling Thunder. Or Rolling Line. They should have called it Rolling Thunder. Alright guys, that's going to about do it for me. Yeah, it's much cheaper than building a layout for sure, and you can get the enjoyment out of it. Alan, yeah, but it's only 20 bucks, man. It's worth the 20 bucks. And in the G2, it's pretty amazing. I haven't figured out if I could, like, improve the graphics. Yeah, I was thinking about contacting the developer, maybe having them on a stream. Because to me, I've been looking... This is one of the things I've been looking for in VR for a long time. For a long time. And I'm very, 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 very pleased with it. It's pretty cool. Alright, guys, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you joining the stream today. If you have... Oh, there's the train right there. Check it out. If you haven't hit that like button, please do. Please subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot for your participation and involvement today. And we'll be back next Saturday. I may throw a stream here during the week to do a little bit of Rolling Thunder. I keep calling it Rolling Thunder. It's Rolling Line. Alright guys, make sure you check out the Discord if you want to join the on-air VR Aviation. Alright Conrad, thanks for flying that plane. I appreciate it. Thank you guys, and have an excellent, excellent weekend, the rest of the weekend. Take care.